As a certain famous frog says, it isn't easy being green. Nowhere is this more true than in the Department of Defense, where the sole mission is to protect our country. However, keeping the mission strong takes millions of products and supplies to support the warfighter. The availability of water, air, and land are critical to our mission and our very existence, and the battle to save these resources is real. To fight this fight, a federal mandate was issued requiring all federal agencies to buy green. But buying green can be costly, and in these days of shrinking budgets, many question the benefit of green products to the overall DoD mission. It isn't easy being green. But there are trendsetters in the DoD who are paving the way. Here are 4 stories. Naval Station Newport is a training, research, and development base located on 1,399 acres along the beautiful western shore of Rhode Island's Aquidneck Island. This is a big base, which means they consume a lot of energy. They have 50 naval and defense commands and activities with about 5,800 employees, and last year alone, more than 17,000 students passed through the station. It takes a lot of energy to run this base. Simple steps like just turning out the lights when a room is not in use or buying energy-efficient products can make a big difference in the station's energy costs.
We pay, just to give you an idea, about $13 million a year here for electricity costs. So we've got a presidential mandate to reduce the use of electricity by about 3% a year. So our philosophy is to carefully buy those things that will give us long-term savings in energy and try to reduce that energy use. Buying Energy Star appliances or other more efficient appliances so that although you pay a little bit more up front, long-term, the cost to the nation and to the Navy is less.
You're buying a product that uses less energy to do the same thing. So you're saving energy, and saving energy saves costs. The energy efficiency products may cost a little more up front. Most of those savings are recovered in the first year, backed by the amount of savings through the electricity costs. So it's a well-paid operation, and it makes sense to do it.
The business decision for someone purchasing a product is not just to look at the initial cost of the product, but to look at the overall cost, what we might call the life cycle cost. And a large portion of those life cycle costs are the energy use that occurs afterwards. The dollars we spend here on energy are dollars that we can't spend supporting our troops, that we can't spend to buy them the equipment they need, that we can't spend to buy them body armor or new aircraft or to fix their ships. And so it actually has an impact on combat effectiveness when we as a large group making lots of small decisions dramatically reduce the amount of funding that's available in other areas that frankly are more important to the Navy.
The Navy isn't the only service seeing green. Down south is an Army post that is leading the way in greening its installation. Fort Bragg is the largest Army installation and airborne facility in the world. It's 3 times the size of Boston and has 43,000 military and 8,000 civilian personnel. It's big, but is it green?
Here at Fort Bragg, we're in the business of training soldiers and preparing soldiers to defend this country. And in so doing, we create a lot of waste. There's a great deal that goes into housing, feeding, clothing, and sustaining soldiers.
Not only does Fort Bragg generate waste, but the installation uses a tremendous amount of resources to support its mission. Army leaders are keeping green by using recycled content products, items made from materials that are pulled from the waste stream and made into new products.
Buying green closes the loop on recycling. We're taking a product that would otherwise be landfilled, and we're making it into a new product that's completing the loop. And then once that product goes through and is recycled again, it gets made into another product, and around we go.
I got with a manufacturer in Wisconsin and asked them if they could develop something that we would cover our foxholes with, made out of recycled plastic. He did, and I currently have them on all of our ranges. There's over 1,000 foxholes on Fort Bragg. What we were using prior to that, which was plywood, one sheet of plywood. It costs to maintain the plywood foxhole covers considerably more. Plus, you only get a 2-year life cycle out of plywood, and you're painting every other year. So every year you're doing something to a foxhole cover, either replacing it or painting it.
Using recycled materials, Fort Bragg also conserves energy and water. A product made from raw materials requires more energy and water in the manufacturing process than products made from recycled materials. So, recycling is really a form of energy and water conservation.
Not burning up tomorrow's resources today, basically, is what that's all about. As far as architecture is concerned, planning a building's growth, how it's going to live, what resources it's going to consume during its life, and ultimately how it's going to be added on to and expanded and become part of the Fort Bragg fabric.
So using recycled content is working at Fort Bragg, and they're spreading the word. For the Army, buying green is the color of the day. But there's another base in the South that isn't blue when it comes to being green. Eglin Air Force Base is located 3 miles southwest of Valparaiso, Florida, and it is home to the 96th Test Wing and associated units. When it comes to being green, this base takes management of its air, water, and land programs very seriously and is known for its use of bio-based products. Bio-based products, like these utensils, are made with renewable agricultural content, which could be from a number of different sources, usually plant material in place of resources that are not renewable, such as petroleum or mineral-based products.
Our job is to provide clean, dry fuel for all home station and transient aircraft, and also we provide fuel support for approximately 1,900 vehicles and 724 square miles of land and airspace. Our customers will never know the difference between our biodiesel and regular diesel. There's no retrofitting of the vehicles. The advantages to using biodiesel versus regular diesel are, one, we're going to see a far less impact on our carbon footprint, and two, we're also going to reduce our dependency for foreign oil.
The equipment here is used to power up aircraft or to run subsystems on the aircraft on the flight line. We don't want anything going into the storm drains. We make sure that we buy products that are environmentally friendly if we have the option. The bio-based absorbent that we use is made from bio-waste, so therefore it's a form of recycling. We use it on the floor to clean up any spills, either of jet fuel or POL products, and it doesn't weigh very much. Bio-based products are great to use because they're a renewable resource and we don't have the problem of depleting other natural resources from our community.
The bio-based sorbents at Eglin have proved to be more effective and save money due to the lower weight of disposal. Bio-based products can also benefit human health by avoiding toxicity to users, as well as consumption of resources that harm the environment in extraction and pollution. If you like to fly, Marine Corps Air Station Yuma is the place to be. It's high and dry in the Sonoran Desert, and the water bills here can be steep. But their new water conservation and efficiency practices have reduced their water use a lot. Xeriscaping minimizes water use. Instead of planting grass that needs lots of water to survive, they use rocks and drought-resistant native plants.
This is an area that is landscaped with xeriscaping. At one time, this was all grass area. Our contract personnel, along with our facility support contracts people, developed a scheme to do a lot of desert landscaping. For the annual report that I just submitted this year, MCS Yuma has reduced their water usage by 30% from the previous year.
That saves over 37 million gallons of water, and that's a lot of water. Another water conservation strategy is using water-efficient products which can help the bottom line and the environment. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's WaterSense labeled products are backed by third-party certification for both water efficiency and performance. This means when you use them, you can expect exceptional quality, lower utility bills, and be confident you are saving water for future generations. There are a lot of ways to be green. energy-efficient machines and equipment that have earned the Energy Star, bio-based products with renewable content, recycled products or those with recovered post-consumer content materials, and looking at ways to better use the resources we have. Buying environmentally responsible products is a federal mandate that all DoD employees have to comply with. And it's up to every DoD employee to do everything they can to buy green, even if it takes a little more effort to find vendors who supply green products. But buying green saves money, and by saving taxpayer dollars, it benefits us all. More specifically, the money saved by military agencies that conserve energy means more dollars to support our troops and the mission. There's no better reason to be green.